Hi everyone, welcome to a new video. I'm Wintergore and this is Ark Survival Evolved. Today I'll be going through a basic beginner's guide teaching you guys all of the key things that you should know about Ark from a beginner's perspective. These are all the things that I wish I'd have known when I first started, as it would have made the game a lot easier to play. First up, the basic controls are WASD to move around, spacebar to jump, left mouse button to attack, E to interact, right mouse button to aim, and also there are a few other controls like X and C which enable you to prone and crouch when you're moving around on the game. So now that we've got all of the basics out of the way, let's move on to actually what you should really be doing in Ark, which is surviving. You're going to need items to be able to survive on the island. To get these, you're going to need to get resources to allow you to craft those items. Looking around, can you see anything in sight that we might be able to use as a resource? There's a bunch of trees here. You can chop down the trees. Since we don't have an axe at the moment, we're going to make one and we're going to punch down the trees, which gives us thatch and wood. These are two separate types of wood which are available to the player. Thatch is used for certain items and wood is used for other items. You can combine these to build items differently in the game. Each item has a specific resource which is needed to craft it. Any of you guys that have played Minecraft will probably find it relatively easy to get used to the resources and the crafting items in the game. You'll notice that when I'm punching down the trees, I'm actually losing health there. You can see I've gone down to half health because I keep punching trees. Just like in real life, it's not a good idea to try and get wood from a tree by punching it. Nevertheless, it is necessary in order to get the primary tools that we'll need to survive on the island. You can see here I'm demonstrating the crouching and also the proning and showing you guys the different variances of height. I'm not sure if a sound level has been implemented into the game yet. I'm assuming there will be, however, considering a prone function and a crouch function are usually used for sneaking. Maybe they'll have some kind of aggro setting on the dinosaurs, which means the closer you are to them, if you crouch or, for example, prone on the ground and lay on the ground, you'll be less likely to be heard, which hopefully will mean you won't get killed by the bigger dinosaurs. You can see the dinosaurs have different types of states. These big turtle guys are friendly, except from when they're attacked. There's other dinosaurs, obviously, such as the T-Rex and the Raptors, which will attack you on sight and relatively try to eat you at any chance they'll get. You're going to need to pick and choose which dinosaurs you go near. Any of you guys with a relative understanding of dinosaurs will know things like T-Rexes and Raptors are all bad. And these guys are obviously big herbivores, so they're usually quite friendly. You can also collect stones in the game. These are laying on the ground, which is another cool feature. And doing so, collecting items and crafting all give you experience points which you can use to level up. You can see here all of the different abilities that you have, or well, the stats that you have. Things like health, stamina, and oxygen are all quite simple, same as food, water, and weight. The weight relates to the weights on your items. You can see there on the left, it has the weights of the items listed next to them, so once you fill up to 1000, you'll become over-encumbered, which means that you won't be able to move around as much, and as soon as it hits 1000, you'll be completely over-encumbered and you won't be able to move at all. This is obviously something you need to be careful of so you don't end up getting yourself killed. Torpor, it relates to how drugged you are. If that fills up to full, you will fall asleep and be knocked unconscious. There are items which can reduce or increase this that you can use in the game. We also have things like the melee damage and the movement speed, which can be upgraded, as well as you can see here on the left, I'm showing you guys the items that I've collected so far, and also showing you that you can drop all the items and you can place them all into your inventory slots later on when you're able to do so. You can see here we've collected all the requirements to craft the pickaxe, so we're going to go ahead and make that now. Next up, we're going to go ahead and level up some of our stat points. So for me, the first point I like to put my stats into is stamina. This is because I like to be able to run slightly faster. It's not very nice when the animals that you've aggroed are able to catch up to you, so I believe being able to run away is probably one of our main advantages. And the stamina perk really helps with this because it means you can run for further distances. The first enneagram I'd advise putting a point into is the campfire enneagram. It's the most important, which is why it's placed first on the list alongside the stone pickaxe. Next up, you can see we don't have enough points for the spear quite yet, so we're going to go ahead and get some more resources, get some more experience points towards our player. You can see on the right hand side there it shows all of the stats and all of our player information, as well as it showing on the items which are red what items we actually need to acquire in order to craft them. So I'm going to go ahead and put the stone pickaxe into my item slot. Any of you guys, again, that have played Minecraft will be very familiar with this. I can also drop it on the ground so I can pass it over to other players when I'm playing in multiplayer, for example. You can see it has the expiry time there on screen, 1 minute 51. This is the time it'll take until the item's deleted from the game. When you're holding items, you won't be able to pick up things like resources or harvest resources like stone or anything from plants around in the area, so you're going to need to press the item key again to unequip that and get your fists out. But for now, we're going to go ahead and harvest some flint so we can make some more of the weapons in the game. Now that we've got a few more resources, we can craft things like the torch that we unlocked earlier, and also the axe, which we'll use to get more resources from trees. So the reason you would use an axe over a stone pickaxe is when you go to attack a tree, for example, you'll have a higher percent chance to get things like wood from a tree, which means rather than getting things like thatch, you'll get more wood, which is really up to preference. So if you actually want to collect more thatch, you're better off using a pickaxe, which will get you more, as I'm about to show here. So when I hit the tree with a pickaxe, you can see here it's giving me a lot more thatch than I'm getting wood. And if I hit it with an axe, it's giving me a lot more wood than it is thatch. You can equip the torch that we found earlier. This will help to provide some light in the area around you. It's not very useful for during the daytime, of course, but at night it is very, very dark. So this will be useful for you to be able to see your way around and be able to see things like what type of dinosaur it is that's trying to kill you. The torch doesn't actually provide heat though, which is something at nighttime. On certain nights it'll be very, very cold and you'll need warmth, which is why we need to craft a fire. A fire is able to give off a lot more heat than a torch can, so it can actually warm you up so you don't end up freezing to death, which is something that can actually happen. If a night is too cold, you'll take damage slowly over time as you get colder and colder. Also, during the day you can get scorching hot days, which are displayed in the bottom left corner either by a freezing symbol or a fire symbol. The more the fire symbol is up, for example, if it is a burning hot fire symbol in the bottom left corner, then it is a scorching hot day. If it is a small little ember, then that just means that it's kind of hot out and you'll be losing a little bit more water than you would normally. You can see here we've crafted up our fireplace and you can access it as an inventory store and drop wood into it. Very much similar to Minecraft, you can also hold shift and split the stack of wood, or you can double click it with the left mouse button to do it one at a time. Alright, now we need something to put on the fire. Right. I don't think we can quite take on the big tortoise dude yet. So perhaps we're going to go ahead and go fishing in here. As you can see, there's some giant sharks over in the left-hand direction where the water's a bit deeper. So I'm going to stick to the shallows and stay a bit safer. I don't really fancy getting eaten by sharks today. You can see here the cold symbol that I referenced earlier is displaying in the bottom left corner. If you go into water, it's obviously cold. It can mean you'll take damage over time if you stay in the water for too long. So I want this fish to run towards the shallows and not towards all the other big sharks, so I'm going to hit it from this side. You notice that I killed it straight away, however if you do happen to miss it, it will start to flee, so you just don't want it to kind of swim off in the wrong direction. You can also pick up fish and drag them, as you can see there, so I can get out of the water. When you're in multiplayer, you can actually do this with players' bodies, so if you happen to kill someone and you want to get their body out of the area straight away before any of their friends come over, you can pick up the body and drag it off into the woods, which is kind of like a creepy thing to do, but it's also a lot better if you want to kind of dispose of them in a quieter manner. See this beautiful little fish here we're going to make some sushi out of. Looks kind of like the fish from The Simpsons with the 3 eyes like. So let's go ahead and light the fire and drop some of our meat into it with the wood. Dropping it in there, we'll cook it the same way it does in Minecraft. It has the raw meat and the third slot will be for the cooked meat. You can see that the meat will spoil in 9 minutes. The benefit to cooking meat is you won't be eating raw meat, which will make you sick, and also you'll be able to have the spoil timer increased. And oh, I appear to have pooped myself. I think that was because of the amount of sharks over there. I don't like to litter, so I'm going to go ahead and dispose of this in the only way that I know how. You can actually eat your poo in this game, which, yeah, it does make you sick. And also, it's quite sick to do, and apparently, you'll level up from doing so. Eating items, I think, gives you a little bit of experience, so doing things like eating poo can actually increase your levels. So we're going to go ahead and unlock the spear now, so that we can actually go and hunt some animals, and also we'll go ahead and get the cloth shirt so that we've got a little bit more armor. So you can see here we've got some cooked meat. The timer on the cooked meat is actually like 20 minutes, which is double the amount of time, well, just over double the amount of time for the raw meat. I equip this in my inventory slot and I just go ahead and hit that. You can see on the right hand side now, the food icon or my hunger icon is increasing, which means I'm not going to starve anytime soon. Hunger directly relates to the amount of health that you'll recover, so if you're almost starving, you'll recover health slower, and if you've got a full tummy, you'll recover health quicker. When you burn out your stamina bar and you have to replenish it, it'll actually mean that you'll have to use up a little bit of your thirst and a little bit of your hunger in order to replenish it. Much in the same way it does in real life, really. If you're not running on empty on fuel, you're going to find it a lot harder to do things and to move around. You can see here we got different types of berries. These narco berries have to be really careful about. If you eat too many of these, which is a mistake I made in multiplayer, I just started eating all the berries that I had, and the narco berries actually add to your tupor, which is basically how drugged up you are, and when that reaches full, you do pass out like I mentioned earlier. I'm going to go ahead and eat some now so you guys can get an idea of it. Just use this item. You can see there my tupor is increasing by about 7 or 8 each time. Yeah, so you can also eat things like the stim berries, which will reduce the amount of hunger I have, and also reduce tuporidity, I think it's called. You can see it'll be going down now. There you go, it's going down a little bit, but it'll make me a lot more thirsty. You can see here, if I'm thirsty, I just need to go and dunk my head underwater. And that'll help me to get back some of that thirst. I haven't quite seen people before who just like dunk their head underwater to drink. I think that's more of a Stone Age thing to do. But for survival, it doesn't really matter. If you're alone on an island, you can drink however you want. So now we're going to go ahead and craft some spears so that we have some weapons to use. The spears are a lot better a weapon than the axe or the pickaxe. They have a lot further range and you can actually throw them, which is really badass. Throwing a spear at a dinosaur is one of the most awesome ways to hunt them. So now we're going to go ahead and move up and look for our first bit of prey. I think I've spotted it. Here we go. Looks like there's a dodo over there. There's no other dinosaurs in sight. Just double checking, because sometimes you can have things like a raptor lurking off in the trees, and as soon as you go for an animal like the dodo, the raptor will see you and think, I'm going to eat that dude, and then run straight at you. So you can see this dodo here, looking completely inconspicuous. Gonna go ahead and try and throw it, holding right click and releasing right click, I'll throw the spear. I missed the first one. But we've got him this time, straight through the wing. Here we go, here we go. Oh, and he's down, and his mate's running right at us. When you aggro one dodo, the other ones will run at you. You can see here he's coming right at us here, not much of a threat. He missed and I missed, and then he immediately retreated. And you can see there, one shot, straight to the back. KO'd, MLG, getting some meat. There we go. Using the axe to collect meat gives me more meat, I believe. There you go, you can see walking over the spears, picks them back up again so I can reuse them, which is another awesome thing about the spears. You can actually have a chance to break them when you throw them though, so when you're actually throwing a spear, you might end up losing all of your spears on one big dinosaur, for example. Cancelled my throw by clicking the left click, or also you can press another item key. For example, on my keyboard I could press 1 or 2, which would stop me from throwing the spear. See here, I've got this dude. I missed that one, so I'm just going to go ahead and stab him. I don't want to waste any more spears. There we go. You can also pick up the dodos and drag them around. I'm going to go ahead and take this one back to the fire so I can cook them a bit closer to home. Now while the dodo's cooking, I've decided to go and take out this parasaur. This guy is a friendly one, but if you hit him, he'll go sprinting away. He's one of the fastest dinosaurs in the game. He'll just go sprinting super speed, miles away from you, so you have to be really quick. Make sure you load up one spear and then immediately start attacking him if you want to take him down. You can see here, I managed to hit him with the second one there and get him before I ran away. You also have to be careful when you're throwing the spears at some dinosaurs. Each dinosaur has an armoured point on it, and if a spear hits that, it has a really high chance to break. You can also collect wood from the bits of broken branch that are lying around, which is quite a cool feature. I assumed when I first joined in that I'd only be able to get wood from the trees that are kind of standing up. But they've actually added them on the ground, and the same thing with the stones. Any of the big stones that you see, you can usually take apart, as long as it's not part of, like, say, the side of a mountain, It's as long as it's one of those big large boulders, you'll be able to pickaxe it and take it down. Now that I've spent a couple of minutes collecting items, I'll be able to build myself some of the thatched structures that we unlocked on the engrams page, as well as some of the clothing items that I unlocked as well. The next thing that you want to get after getting fire is to be able to build some structures so that you're able to keep your player alive and warm on the night where, for example, it's extremely cold, or during the day when it's scorching hot. If you have a roof over your head, or at least like some form of a house, you'll be able to keep yourself away from all of the elements. The elements obviously play a role in one of the survival features in the game, and they're one of the most common things to kill players, I think, other than running head-on into an aggressive dinosaur. Alright, now that we've crafted ourselves up a cloth shirt, we're going to go ahead and equip that on our player. To do so, you just need to go to the inventory screen, click on the cloth shirt and drag it over to the torso on the right hand side. The same way you guys should be familiar with in, like I said, Minecraft and a lot of MMOs. You should be able to just equip any of your bodily items over there on the right hand side. Eventually, when I unlock something such as the headgear, I'll be able to show you guys how you can reskin the gear to look like different items. Since I got one of the alpha packs, I'll have the founder's hat and the parasaur saddle, so I'll be reskinning the hat in a later episode. You can see here, I equipped the structures to my inventory slot from my item slot, and now I'm able to place them down. So here goes the thatched foundation. You won't be able to build walls or roofs or anything like that unless you have a foundation. You have to build a house from the bottom up. So there you go, you can see we put down a wall, we put down a roof. You've got quite a bit of freedom about where you want to place it, so I could put it on the other side of here, but that wouldn't be very useful for being able to protect me from the elements. So I'm going to go ahead and make a little Pac-Man shaped hut here that I can kind of lay down on, and it'll stop me from getting rained on when it's pouring down. And oh, in the distance we have one of our first unique things in the game, and one of our first kind of more adventurous things in the game, which is an artifact. These fall from the massive obelisks that you can see, the kind of basically care package drops that contain items. So we're going to go ahead and get our spear out here because I'm not quite sure if there's any dangerous dinosaurs in the area. If you go somewhere that you haven't been before, it's always good to have an attacking weapon out in case you need to attack some enemy dinosaurs, or even other enemy players if you're playing online. You can see here you can access the inventory on this. You can see here I got a bunch of items which I can use. I got a standing torch, crates, a bed, a sign, and a lot of spark powder, which will come in handy. Whoa, that was a very loud noise. So if you're wondering what those giant lights are floating in the sky, the little lights that are like beams shooting up, those are care package drops, which you can go and adventure off to. But for the beginning, I would recommend that you guys stock up on items, get yourself well defended, get yourself a home base, get a bed put down so that you can respawn and build yourself like a little hut, and pretty much do all the stuff that I've done in this video. You can see there, because I already had a wall in my inventory to build, and I went and hit the key for it, it allowed me to craft it instantly without having to visit the crafting menu. So for any items that you end up using a lot, for example, or if you need to repair something like a pickaxe, you can just hit the 2 key after it has been used up. Each item has a set amount of uses. For example, you can see there the pickaxe and the stone axe both have a limited amount of uses, the green bars going down as the item's getting worn out. You can repair it if it breaks by just hitting the same key that you're using to use it, or clicking on it and clicking repair. So I'm dragging all the items that I just got into here, and I'm going to go ahead and place them down on the hut that I've got. So we're going to go ahead and put 2 crates at the back here, which you can use for item storage. And we're going to go ahead and place a bed next to it. The bed allows you to respawn, which is extremely useful if you build a house that's away from the set spawn location you chose when you loaded in a character. So there we have it. We have our first somewhat resembling house. It has 2 walls, 1 roof, 2 crates and a bed. As soon as you place the bed, you'll be able to respawn back on it. You don't have to worry about trying to sleep in the bed first or anything like that like you would have to in Minecraft. And you can see here I've got all my other items. I'm just going to put the standing torch down, drag and drop loads of my berries into here that I don't actually need to ensure that I don't get over encumbered if I encounter loads of resources when I'm out exploring, for example. and to make sure that I don't drop all my items really far away from home, which would mean that I'd have to travel all the way back out there. Another thing that I didn't mention is if you do die very far away from your spawn bed, you have about 15 minutes to get back to your body before your pack or all of your items from your inventory will disappear from your body. So you'll have to make it relatively quick. So it's useful to either take something like a sleeping hammock, which we'll be able to eventually craft with you, or to take something like a spare bed with you, so you won't be able to, so you'll be able to respawn on it. See here, I'm just placing down some torches, which if you add resources to, you'll be able to light them up. And since they use resources, they also give off warmth. So on a really, really cold night, if you're quite far away from your main campfire, you don't have any campfires on you, you can put down one of these torches, which are also useful for lighting the way or as marker posts so you can find your way back home. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be putting up a bunch more Ark videos and also some videos where I'm playing with a bunch of other YouTubers on the multiplayer. Now we're going to go ahead and take on this big beast and try and kill it. Here we go, let's go. There we go, we got him. You can see what I said about not being able to run very fast. It makes it quite dangerous when you try and take on this dude. I'm going to try and get some things between us so they can't kill me. Oh no, he's run straight through them. Let's go. There we go, he's off to the side now. Throw my last spear at him. Now I actually don't have any more spears, so I'm going to have to go and face him in one-to-one combat. Here we go. Hey, he just knocked me back really far and I lost a lot of health. Oh no, he's hit me again straight away. I'm on half health. I'm going to try and run away now. But he's coming right after me. I'll stay up here so he can't hit me. Haha. I don't think he can get to me now. I'm too high up for him. Apparently not. He's hit me again. Now I've broken one of my bones because I've been injured so heavily, and I can't actually run very fast. Please don't hit me. It looks like he's given up. Yeah, that's it. Run away. Haha. Defeated again. Oh god, he's still coming at me. I think I can get behind this sign and use it as cover. I don't think he can get past this. Oh, it stopped him as well. We've survived. We've made it home, guys. Well done, Wintergore, eh? Oh god. And that's how you die in Ark Survival Evolved. You can see here we can respawn at the bed, luckily because we placed it there. And once you've died as well, animals won't be aggroed over to you unless they're obviously extremely aggressive. Unfortunately, our crates took a ton of damage there when it did its swinging attack. It destroyed both of our crates, unfortunately, which is another thing you have to watch out for. That thing, when it charges, can break certain items in the game. Not quite sure what's happening to my body here. I'm trying to drag it through a wall, I think, and it's completely spazzing out, doing the Macarena or something. You can see that we can access the inventory on players that are dead, so I can just go ahead and take all my items really quickly. Be careful about doing this in multiplayer because you might take loads of, say, a player's, which will instantly over-encumber you, so just be very careful about what items you choose, because a lot of the time you won't want to take all of their really heavy items. Got rid of the body there to get rid of the evidence, and we're going to go ahead and lay down. When you exit the game, wherever you log out, will be where you log back in. So say if I ran off to the hills over there and I logged out, I wouldn't respawn back at my bed, I'd respawn back at those hills. So you have to be very careful about where you exit the game. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'll have more Ark tutorials on the way, as well as more multiplayer footage. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like, it really helps me out, and I'll see you guys next time.